Hello, BookTube. I'm back from my accountant, and she took all my money. She took one of my kidneys. She took the corneas of both eyes. So I thought I needed a shot of optimism, and what better subject would there be for that than spring, when all things renew, including, hopefully, bank accounts. So I found the I Love Spring book tag, and I thought we'd jump right in. I found it at Heather's channel, The Bookables, which is great. I'm sure all of you are subscribed already, but if you're not, you should do that. And we'll get started right now. Question number one: what is spring like where you live? uh, well, I live in Boston, and spring is usually the usual mix of variable stuff, swings in temperature, swings in weather. We are coming off not only the warmest winter that Boston has had in recorded history, but also the warmest winter that Boston has had in history, period. This region, the region off this continent, has not been this warm at this time, those months of the year, since Earth was first cooling billions of years ago. uh, and that looks only to continue. But this spring is more questionable than usual because in a couple of days, Boston is slated to get snow. Also for the first time ever, and record-breaking cold. So I'll let you know, I guess, is the answer to this question. Question number two: most anticipated book releases this spring. Well, I anticipate so many books, but I view this as a perfect opportunity to make recommendations of 4 forthcoming books. I've read them all, and I love talking about new books with you people. So the first one is Jane 2 by Sean Patrick Flannery, whose name might be familiar to you because he's an actor. He was young Indiana Jones on TV, and he starred in a prolonged tobacco commercial called Boondock Saints. This is his first novel, and I try to go into Hollywood first novels with an open mind, and I'm a little bit closer to release date. I'll talk about this with you. It has its problems, to put it mildly. The problem with Hollywood novels is that their authors are usually in the middle of a bubble of approval, and as any writer will tell you, you need friends who will tell you when you're writing crap. They don't have that usually. Next one is Track Changes. This is by Matthew Kirschenbaum, and it is a history of our lives, our experience. It's a history of word processing, of writing on computers, all the various programs, all the various iterations and frustrations. It's fantastic, just fantastic. It's just starting to get reviews, and when it comes out, it comes out in late April, I think. It will get reviewed early May. It comes out in early May, and it will get reviewed everywhere because every writer has lived this history. We've all gone from, some of us are old enough, from typewriters to electric typewriters to word processors with blinking green letters, all the way to the present day where you can write a book review on your phone. And it's written really well too, so I recommend it highly. I'll talk about it again closer to the time. And then this is another May release. This is A Country, a Road by Jo Baker, who won my heart with her novel Longbourn, about the servants in Pride and Prejudice. I ordinarily would never imagine that I would say that a Pride and Prejudice pastiche novel won my heart, but that one did. It's incredibly good, and that's all you need, really, for me, is you impress me that much with a book, I'm going to read you faithfully for the rest of your career. So I read this. I liked it a lot. I'll reread it again when I get the finished copy. And then the last one, brightly colored for spring, is The Gene by Siddhartha Mukherjee. Sid Mukherjee wrote a great, great book called The Emperor of All Maladies about cancer. This is, in many ways, a natural follow-up, but there's just nobody who can write about complex medical subjects the way he can. Just nobody. If you see this at your library or on a new release table, and you think, well, I'm not a science reader, that sort of thing, just dispense with such thoughts and buy it right away. You never had such a companionable author in your life. So that's 4 books I'm anticipating in spring. I'm anticipating a great many more than that, but 4 will do for now. Question number 3. Show us a book cover that reminds you of spring. That would be Spring. The first collection mass market volume of the first 3 novels in Anthony Powell's A Dance to the Music of Time, a gigantic novel series that he wrote about England during the wars that is brilliant. In these 3 novels are 4 main characters. The 4 men that he will follow throughout the series are young. They're first entering adult society, and we get to see what that's like. And I recommend the series heartily. I really wish there were a really good edition of it that I could recommend to you. You know, a big hardcover collection of all of the books. They're not long. You could easily do it. Or maybe 2 thick Penguin classics, something like that. But there isn't. I'm not even sure that Dance to the Music of Time is in print at the moment. Powell is at a low ebb. I trust that won't last forever because these are too good to be forgotten. Let's see here. Question number 4. Where are you going to read this spring? I think the emphasis there is on the where. I think the question is obviously designed to elicit from me some talk about riverbanks or leafy groves. When actually I don't read outside. I read right here, like any civilized person would. So I will read right here on the couch. I will read in bed, the usual places, the subway. I'm not going to go outside and sit on the grass and read. Good Lord. Question number 5. Find a cover with the sun on it. I have many since I'm a fan of science fiction, but for now we'll go with this, Conan, by great old sci-fi hack Michael Stackpole. This is his novelization of the 2011 movie starring Jason Momoa that not enough of you saw to make it the hit that it deserved to be. Jason is okay. He's going to be Aquaman. But in a more just world, he should be making his 4th Conan movie. It was really good. The novelization is pretty good, too. Number 6, what are your favorite spring reads? I don't really have anything that I read regularly in the spring. I reread Homer's Iliad every June, and I reread Homer's Odyssey every August. But I don't have anything for spring that's like that. I'm wide open and will just read whatever comes to hand. Question number 7, find a book with different colors on its cover. I have a couple. First would be this. The Justice League versus the Avengers graphic novel from years ago with artwork by George Perez, which has just amazing work. Just amazing full color work. It's the fan favorite fight between a team whose heavy hitters include Batman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Superman, versus a team whose heavy hitters include Thor. Still managed to drag it out for 4 issues. And also there's this one here, 13 Ways of Looking at the Novel by Jane Smiley, an author whose swanning, throat-clearing fiction I just can't stand. But this book, where she talks about novels and the craft of novels and the perception of novels, is excellent. Furthering my opinion that some people are born critics and not born novelists. But there's no arguing with the author of 1,000 Acres, is there? And let's see here. Question number 8. We got all the way to the end. Who do you tag? Well, I'm still a wretched newbie on BookTube, so I'm not sure who wouldn't be insulted if I tagged them, and I'm also not 100% clear on the etiquette of tagging. Are small channels allowed to tag big channels, or is that viewed with contempt? I don't know. So I decided just to go with 4 channels that I like. If I'm offending, I apologize. The first one is Ben at BangadyBanz, and I'm going to try to resist the implication that he needs to do a spring tag because he doesn't have the best color. He's as pale and pasty as you could imagine, just like me. The next one, also pale and pasty, would be Joe at Bookseller Ravings. These are also recommendations for these channels if by some chance you don't already subscribe to them. They're all great. The third one would be Olive at a Book Olive, as I'd love to hear her answers to these. And the last one would be Jason at Jason Purcell, in a vain attempt to lure him back to BookTube, because I miss seeing his face in my subscription queue. And there you have it. That is the I Love Spring book tag. It doesn't cost any money to love spring, does it? Well, that's good, because right now... Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.